Welcome back to Pace Immigration, paceimmigration.com. Michael O'Rourke, good to see you.
Hey, Sean, good to see you too. How's it going?
Going great. Top 5 reasons investors should look at the U.S. EB-5 visa is what we're talking today. EB-5 visa, path to green card. So let's talk about it. What is the EB-5? Who is it for? What does it cost?
EB-5 is an investment-based visa leading to permanent residence in the U.S. You can either invest in a direct investment, a project of your own, acquisition of a practice, setting up a factory in New York, something on that order, or you can invest in a regional center which pools investors' monies for a certain project. Who is it for? Well, it's for whoever can afford it. But surprisingly, quite a few people can afford it. And it's a good, fast way into the United States. What does it cost? Minimum investment is $800,000 in rural or infrastructure projects in a regional center. Otherwise, it's $1,050,000. Plus, you have to add on regional center administrative fees and lawyers' fees.
Of course, those lawyers have to eat too, right?
Yes, we do.
It is a complicated process, as we'll see, so you definitely earn your money with it. The number one reason people should look at it, there's some stuff here about life in the U.S.
Yeah, lower taxes, cheaper housing, lifestyle options, being part of that great American melting pot. I'm American, I can say this. Yeah, there are so many advantages to living in the U.S. It is the American dream, and it is still a way to get there using the EB-5.
Excellent. Number 2, investment, flexible, plentiful options, safe, all kinds of stuff here, Michael.
Yeah, exactly. So with these projects, especially the regional center projects, there are so many different options, from student housing in Berkeley to oil wells in Oklahoma to ski chalets in Idaho. You name it, there's usually a project out there for it. The projects all have their own terms. They're all their own individual investments. So you gotta hire good lawyers, good accountants, good financial analysts to really understand your risk and what this project is going to return to you, if anything, on the investment. And what does the time horizon of the investment look like? In the last couple of years, the EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act, the RIA, that was passed in 2022, and it has made the process much safer by requiring a pre-approval process for each of these regional centers projects, and required financial disclosures and required audits. So I think now is a safer time to invest than in the pre-RIA EB-5 projects.
Right. One thing we should point out is people have to make sure that their money comes from reputable sources, and their money, the chain of money, is clean.
Exactly. So that's one of the big things that I do, is I take a look at every dollar that is part of that investment and make sure that it's not tainted, that that it comes from reputable, like earnings from work, sale of assets. You can't have prostitution, you can't have tainted money, no blood diamonds making up your portfolio, nothing like that. It all has to be good, clean money, because that is what USCIS looks at the most closely in these investors' applications.
Okay, carrying on, number 3, you're going to get a green card out of this, and the green card has several advantages over other visas. Michael, go into that.
Yeah, so as an EB-5 investor, once the process is complete, you get a 2-year conditional green card. At the end, you have to have that 2-year period, you have to go and remove those conditions, and then it converts into a standard 10-year green card. But you don't have to go and get any B1 visa or any work visas. You can work for any employer if you so choose to work in the U.S. You don't have to be working in the U.S. to remain with a green card as well. After 5 years of becoming a permanent resident, you can apply for Medicare when you're eligible, and you can own property anywhere in the U.S. Any of those foreign buyer restrictions laws, which are usually on the local or county basis, those no longer apply to you.
Excellent. More green card advantages. No required return home and no ticking clock on those visas.
Exactly. So no ticking clock on the visa, but once you become a U.S. permanent resident, the U.S. expects that you are going to center your activities in the U.S. So if you're traveling, that's fine. But if you travel for more than 6 months outside of the U.S., come and talk to me or one of my colleagues, because then we have to look and make sure that you are still maintaining the ties that you need to with the U.S. If you're going to be out for a year or more, then we can do something called a re-entry permit, just to make sure that you are keeping house around your permanent residence and making sure that it's viable when you return.
Okay, and the last one here, faster path to green card than employment or marriage-based stuff for most nationalities.
Yeah. So especially right now, beginning of 2025, all nationalities are current for any investment in rural or infrastructure set-aside projects. The set-asides are visas that are specifically reserved for these projects. There is a huge demand right now, so we don't expect that those visas are going to last very long, probably not for the remainder of this year. But typically, Chinese born and Indian born investors tend to encounter backlogs in most of their visa applications. This is a sweet spot right now where those investors can come in and get a very fast path to green card, usually within a year and a half, where a marriage-based route, 2 years plus, employment-based route, 3 years plus. So it's a good time to do it if you're considering it.
Excellent. So there you go, Michael O'Rourke, the top 5 reasons investors should look at the U.S. EB-5 visa. You can contact him at mo'rourke@pacelawfirm.com to get started on the process of investing and earning a green card for you and your family. Michael, thanks for joining us again. We'll talk to you soon.